Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. Well, it's been a while. I think my last upload was Wolves away. A lot has happened since then. I've been so busy. I've been trying to get time to do the upload, but I just haven't had time to do it. I've been to most of the games. I've been to London for four days. I did Tottenham away. Then I had to go home for 24 hours. Then I had to go to Newcastle Friday, Saturday night to the BKFC. I don't know if you've seen on the Instagram. I was chilling with the old Conor McGregor, the notorious Conor McGregor. I was up there with the water brand Rival Tears. They were doing the sponsorship there. So I missed Bournemouth. And then I left Newcastle on the Saturday night at midnight. I drove to Stansted, got to Stansted at 5 a.m. Then I had a 7 a.m. Trip to the airport for a 9 o'clock flight to Lisbon. Gone out to Lisbon till the Wednesday, and I've just come home. Well, I came home Wednesday. It's now Friday. So I've had a couple of days rest. I finally had a shave. I was looking like fucking Wurzel Gummidge. So, yeah. I feel a little bit refreshed. I'm not going to Brighton this weekend. I've given me tickets away. I've got a weekend with the kids. I've got a few things planned. I'm going to watch the game though. But yeah, it's non-stop, man. And people think it's easy, you know what I mean? Trying to juggle work life, family life, going to the matches, trying to do content. It's not easy at all. And I just got to apologize, you know, because you guys support me on this channel week in, week out. But let's get into it. Crisis. Is there a crisis? What crisis? You know, we've lost 3 games on the bounce for the first time in 2018. I think as Manchester City fans who watch the games week in, week out, we can all agree that this season we've not looked the same as previous seasons, even though the start we've had and the points total we've got, etc., is one of the best. But it doesn't tell the full story. We've looked disjointed. We've looked slow. We've looked laboured. There's a massive hole in the centre of the pitch where Rodri should be. The injury crisis is starting to mount up. We've seen an unusual run of daft injuries, which has knocked us as well. The myth that Manchester City have this massive squad is exactly that. It's a myth. We have a very talented squad, but we have a lot of players that can play in different positions and slot into areas. But then, for me, it flaws the system. Tottenham in the Cup, I'll be honest, I tipped City to get beat there, which I never do. But I just thought that the way Pep was talking, he didn't really fancy that. But I thought we put a good shift in. James McAtee, Nico O'Reilly, etc., coming on, showing, you know, a little bit of talent there. There were some positives out of the game, but we lost 2-1. Wasn't overly bothered by that, I'll be honest. But the Bournemouth game set alarm bells ringing. It was too easy for Bournemouth at times to get through us. Erling Haaland is cutting an isolated figure up front. We're looking very toothless. There's a lot of huffing and puffing, but there's no final product. We should have snatched a point at Bournemouth with the chances at the end, but we didn't. And full credit to Bournemouth. They deserve the win. At the end of the day, I feel like these teams are smelling a little bit of blood. And they're noticing that Manchester City are not the same. So they're putting it on us. And fair play to Bournemouth. They beat Arsenal and Manchester City in the last few weeks. So then we moved on to Lisbon the other night. News was coming out of the injuries in the team again. Simpson Poussey, who I think is going to have to change his name to just Simpson because it's a joke. He got a start. First half in Lisbon, I thought we did okay. We looked okay. We started brilliantly. Phil Foden was playing better than I'd seen in weeks. He was linking the ball, linking the play in between the midfield and attack, which I thought we were missing. He was getting about the pitch well. I thought City controlled the first half. There was one major slip when Rico Lewis came into midfield and he lost the ball, which Gyökeres went through one-on-one. But full credit to Ederson, He stood his ground. He didn't commit. And he tried to chip him and he saved it. And then we find ourselves 1-1 going in at half time. I think we're unlucky with that, but we didn't seem in danger. I've gone down at half time. I've gone to get myself a drink. Everyone's talking, saying we're looking okay. We're doing all right. We'll win this. We're not going to get beat here. These aren't good enough, blah, 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 blah. But on the first half performance, that's what you're going to say. Just let me drink a bit of the brew. I like these cappuccinos. They're decent. Unsweetened cappuccino. Nescafe ones. They're all right. There's a bit of a pick-me-up. Anyway, come out second half. First 5 minutes, 6 minutes, bang, bang, we're 3-1 down. Gone to shit. We're getting opened up by balls from the opposition half, right down the middle of our pitch, cutting us wide open. Akanji was playing with an injury. I've been told he had some sort of thigh strain strapped up. You can see that. He was stopping running halfway through, just giving up. We looked terrible all across the park. Savinio was huffing and puffing down that right-hand side, but he was cutting in, shooting, getting blocked all the time. Erling's getting no service. We know this. We've seen this. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for us fans to watch. Do you know what I mean? We've got the best number 9 in the world and nobody puts the ball in the box. We've seen the last few weeks some of the goals he scored when the balls are crossed in the box, when the ball's behind him and he throws a leg at it and he flicks it in the net. You've got to cross the ball in the box for me. I don't see this side-to-side play. If you're playing Foden and Grealish on the wings and you want to talk about control and you've got a Kevin De Bruyne around the edge of the box, play that control. You can lay the ball off to Kev edge of the box. You can shoot. We can score goals that way. But when you're missing key players, when you're missing important cogs in the system, change the system to suit what you've got on the pitch. We know our strengths lie in the wingers and the striker. So do what wingers do. Even if we've got to do it for a month, get the ball down the line, get that ball in the box, get Erling coming to the near post, flicking it in. If you put 10 crosses in that box, Erling Haaland's getting under 6. 100%. 7, maybe. He's getting on the end of them. The odds are he's scoring a couple for me. But we don't even do that. Haaland's just spending all game wrestling with people. There's no creativity in the midfield. We've got Rico Lewis playing at right back, who, when he's a right back, he's good. When he gets the ball at right back, cuts into midfield, he's good. Then he bursts through to the final third. Rico Lewis does not know what to do with it then. He doesn't know where to pass the ball. He hasn't got that little slide pass in him. He hasn't got that dink pass in him. It's sideways, backwards. And then sometimes he's panicking on the ball. They're pressing him. He's getting dispossessed. Then we're getting 2-on-1s, one against ones at the back, which are caused by us pressing too high up the field. Josko Gvardiol's the same on the left. Pep was telling him in Lisbon the other night to get back. And, we just looked a shadow of our former selves. And listen, rival fans ain't going to give us sympathy. They're not going to look at our injuries, and they're going to say, "You Man City, you've got two best teams of 11." All that nonsense. And that's what you've got to realise. There's fans out there been sat watching this Manchester City team dominate this league for years, waiting for the day that Manchester City fall off. So losing 3 games on a row, a Carabao Cup game, a Champions League game, and a league game, to these people, it's like Christmas come true. My phone's never been as busy. Hammering ball, as if Man United were playing in that. All this nonsense. But that's what you get when you're top. When you're at the top table, there's people trying to pull you down. And it is what it is. There's no point having negative reactions. There's no point in all having a meltdown online. I'm just as frustrated as the next man. I get some of the young guns have never seen it, so they're getting a bit agitated. But we're not that fan base. If there's a least entitled fan base in the world, it's us. And we need to stick it that way. At the end of the day, we're going through a blip. It happens. We've got injuries and situations forced upon us that we didn't expect. Did Pep buy well in the summer? Maybe not. Did he get an Alvarez replacement? No. Are we short on legs in the midfield? In my opinion, yeah, we are. And this is the reason. Like it all comes about when you're losing games. This is when you start thinking these things. In my opinion, we've got to get to January. Get to January, got to freshen up. If we don't freshen up in January, it takes one or two things to me. Pep is stubborn, and he thinks he can turn it around again, which I think this season he might fall short. Or two, Pep's leaving and they don't want to spend any cash. But we do need bodies. You know, I remember watching on one of the documentaries. I think Cheeky said you only buy in January if you got it wrong in the summer or you've got injuries. Well, I think it's a bit of both. I'll be honest. I think we have got it wrong in the summer, and I think we have got injuries. So, in my opinion, we need to buy and strengthen. We need the spine of the team back. John Stones and Ruben Diaz need to come back. We need Nathan Ake fit. We also need Kevin De Bruyne fit. He come on the other night for 5 minutes. I don't know why. But we can't let this Liverpool team pull away. They're on a great wave of form. Arsenal are dropping points as well as City. We're both as bad as each other. This is leaving Liverpool a free run at it. So we've got to get points, starting with Brighton at weekend. We've got to get points. We've got to dig deep. You know the flaws, Pep. If you can't play that system, don't play it. You know, be a little bit more reserved, tying it up a little bit. Play the ball about. Let's be hard to beat. If we've got to get points, draws, get them. Better than nothing. Do you know what I mean? But at the minute, there's a few problems he's got to address. And he's the best manager in the world, people. Let's not forget that. He's the best manager in the world. This is why I don't get these entitled City fans coming out, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, Pep needs to go, we need to do this. And, you know, we've got to stick with the manager. Now is not the time to be panicking about Pep. Now is not the time to be picking on individual players. We can criticise individual players. Of course we can. We're right. We can have an opinion on it. Of course we can. But let's not let it snowball out of control, where the fan base is split and arguing online, and you've got different content creators saying different things and agendas being set and all that, because that's when we're finished as a fan base. That's when we become like the others that we don't want to become like. I like to think the content space at Manchester City is a nice place. I like to think we can let our thoughts out. We can chew the fat. We can, you know, get our points across with each other. And I think that, you know, that's a good thing about being a Manchester City supporter, that we've got these platforms. We can do that. We don't just go in and like a bull in a china shop. He's this and he's that and he doesn't need to play. I've seen Kyle Walker getting a lot of stick. Has Kyle Walker fell off a bit? Yeah, of course he has. What's giving him stick going to achieve? If we can see it in the stands, surely Pep can see it. You know, Cheeky can see it. Khaldoon can see it. And one thing Manchester City are good at as a club is identifying when things need freshening up. That's why we've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. That's why we've got to get to January and see what happens. But going back to the rival fan thing, there's people come out the woodwork in my DMs, Liverpool fans, from like 3 and 4 years ago. Sorry, mate, long time no speak. How are you doing? What do you think of Slot? And I'm like, are you mad? These people are crazy. But at the end of the day, we're going to get it. I don't think it's going to get any better anytime soon without these players coming back. But the last thing we need now is letting the minority of City fans, the idiots, try and, you know, make us all look bad. Because listen, if you was in Lisbon on Tuesday night, the fans were all right. We got behind the team. We marched to the ground. We were singing the night before. We were right behind them, you know, and we got to do the same at Brighton at weekend. Then we were going to Brighton. They've been on a long run. Newcastle, Wolves away, Bournemouth away, Lisbon, Bratislava. You know, it's expensive and it's long and people are tired and that. And you know what I mean? But we'll be there. As Pep said, we will be there and we got to get behind them. But I feel like Kevin De Bruyne coming back is massive. We've got to keep Kev fit. He needs a good run of games. If he gets a good run of games under his belt, we win games, 100%. The Ruben Diaz, Johnny Stones, a Kanji thing, we've got to get them fit. You know what I mean? Get them all fit and playing. Nathan Ake. Get everybody up to speed. This international break, by the way, is a joke. Again, you know, players need to pull out. If you're not 100% fit, pull out of the squad. Pull out of the squad and get yourself fit. Do you want to win this Premier League? Do you want to win the Champions League? Do you want to be arriving at these competitions at the end of the season? Or do you want to put it all on the line for the international squad? Because some of these games are pointless. And the Jack Grealish situation is not as crystal clear as people are making out. I'm telling you that now. Jack Grealish, in my opinion, is not injured. There's something else going on. That is what I think. So you can tell by Pep's body language. Lee Carsley's saying he's trained. Pep's saying he's not trained. You know, Jack Grealish is FaceTiming Villa fans from somewhere random while they're in Bruges, while we're getting a slapping off Lisbon. You know, there's rumours all around about different things going on. He's posting mental health things on his story. So for me, I don't think it's clear. And I think that Jack Grealish won't be coming back anytime soon. And there's nobody defended Jack more than me over the years on every platform. Nobody has. But I think some City fans now, the patience are wearing thin. When the chips are down, they can't count on Jack. These are the games where Jack Grealish should be getting his chance and doing what he does best. He come in the other week, I forget which game it was, he played really well. Then we don't see him again. So he needs to sort himself out, you know what I mean? He needs to sort himself out. He's at one of the best clubs in the world under the best manager. He's just had a baby. He's misses. And there's always controversy around him. He can never be 100% fit and in this team and ready to go. We got the best season out of him with a treble. Is that Jack's best season? Are we ever going to get better than that? Looking at it now, I don't think so. I don't know. I just want him to get fit, get on the pitch and prove people wrong. He missed out on the England squad. Yeah, he missed out on the England squad. This was his season to come back and prove them all wrong. It started like a nightmare. People don't know where he is. Is he training? Is he not training? Is he in the England squad? Is he not in the England squad? It's pathetic. Pep Guardiola looks frustrated every time he talks about him. So he's another one. Look in the mirror, Jack. Look what you've got going for you. Do you know what I mean? We need you as a team now. £100 million investment this football club put into you. Get back on the pitch. Get back on the pitch and prove everybody wrong. Prove them all wrong. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'd do. Erling Haaland, another one. Frustrated. How long is he going to be up front for in games where he barely touches the ball, don't get any service? You know what? How long is he going to be like that? How long is his dad going to take that? Is he going to look at it and think, you know what? We've won everything here. My son needs a fresh new challenge. He's not enjoying his football. These are the things we've got to be careful of. You know, we don't want to be going stagnant. We don't want to be having to freshen the team up in too many positions at once. City's always been about one or two. Looking at this team now, I think we need 3 or 4. I do. I think we need 3 or 4. But it's early days. We're 2 behind Liverpool. The Champions League will take care of itself. It's a new format. We're definitely going to qualify for that. We'll beat Feyenoord. We'll beat Juve and Paris, I think. And we'll be all right. The Carabao Cup is a hindrance. I'm sorry it is. The game's too much. So we've let that go. But other than that, Blues, you know, we've just got to keep the faith. Keep the faith. There's a song that we sing on the terraces, yeah, from many a year ago. And at times like this, when we sing it, it reminds me of them times back in the day when we never won 3 games in a row. Never mind, lost 3 games in a row. We were terrible. But we never win at home. We never win away. We lost last week and we lost today. You don't give a fuck because we're all pissed up. MCFC, okay. Sums it up. We never win at home. We never win away. But we're always there, rain, sleet or snow, backing the boys. And now is the time to pull together and back this team. And if we go to Brighton at weekend and we fall again, we fall again. We dust ourselves off and we get up and we go again. And we go again. And we get all our boys back. And at the end of the season, we'll be marching. To all them rival fans, let them laugh. Let them think City are finished. Write Manchester City off at your peril. Write Manchester City off at your peril. Many have done it before, and many have ended up with egg on the face. So, while we're down, while we're weak, give us a kick. No problem. Can take that, expect it. But we won't be weak for long. We won't be down for long. I'm telling you now, the foundations of the club and the people involved in the club won't allow that to happen. So, we'll see what happens. I think we'll nick it at Brighton. I think we're going to have a resolute performance and nick the win. for people, if there's any of my followers that live in and around the Milton Keynes area, on Tuesday, the 12th of November, the Big Six, myself, Saeed, Grizz, Matisse, Toby, Expressions, and a few of the AFTV boys, we're at Wing Kings. Rival Tears, the water brand, are launching at Wing Kings in Milton Keynes on Tuesday night. If you want to come down and meet the lads, it's going to be a closed event. You can sit there, we're going to talk football. There's wing challenges, there's debates, there's people mingling around. I'm going to be walking around. You want to talk football, all that. Get yourself down there. The link is in my story on Instagram. Or if you go on the wingkings.com or .co.uk website, you will see an evening Rival Tears launch. You have to book a table. Click on the link, book a table. They take a deposit, a tenner or something. Book a table, come down. It'll be a great night. It'll be great to meet some of you guys out there. So if you're in Milton Keynes area, Tuesday night, the 12th, get to Wing Kings, book your table, and let's have a good old natter and a bit of chat about football and that, and see how we go. But anyway, I didn't want to do these videos. I'm not being negative. I'm being positive. But what I'm saying is we're all frustrated. We've all got our own opinions. We're all upset with certain aspects of the team. But there's only one man can control it. That ain't me. It ain't you. It's Pep Joseph Guardiola. Yeah? Now is the time Pep earns his corn. Now is the time where Pep's got to sit back and think about it and re-motivate this team and get the blood flowing again in this team and get us challenging for that title. We've got Anfield in a few weeks. We've got to be on it there. We've got to put a shift in. Please hit the like button. Please share my stream. Yeah. Thanks for watching. And remember, keep the faith, Blues. Come on, City. The season's only young. Up the Blues.